Hi guys, in this video I will show you how to connect for the first time to your Live Mode Pro. Okay, so the first step is to switch on the system. So I've connected actually my glass to a power pack for the demo. You can see that my glasses are switched on. You can see that my Live Mode Pro finished to boot, and I have a steady green LED. So when you are going through that process, you will hear your Live Mode Pro telling you Pivothead ready to go, and then connecting, and then this is the status you end up with. So the first step now is to press the button here, and to press it for over 8 seconds.
Limited connection.
When you hear limited connection, you can release the button, and you can actually wait until you see a blue LED here. That blue steady LED means that you are now broadcasting a Wi-Fi from the Live Mode Pro, and you are ready to go with your computer. So you can use whatever device. It can be either a Mac, a PC, or a mobile device. Just use your favorite browser. So the first step is to go to the Wi-Fi section to search and connect to Live Mode Pro. When you connect to the Live Mode Pro network, you will actually see on Mac that icon keeping blinking. That means that the device you are connected to have no internet connection. On Windows, it will be a small yellow square next to the Wi-Fi sign with the same meaning. When you are connected, you will type the IP address of the Live Mode Pro, which is 192.168.42.1, and that will give you access to the web page of the Live Mode Pro. Here you need actually to operate two settings in order to be ready with your Live Mode Pro. The first is located in application. So in application and PivotSIP, PivotSIP is actually the name of our VoIP solution. You will have to modify the account information, and you will have to modify the speed dial information. So to modify the account information, so I'm logged out, so I need to, I'm logged in, so I need to log out, but you are basically have to key in the username. So I will actually log to the device as test1 here, and password of our test1 is register me. Okay, you can actually watch the password by clicking on this small icon here if you want to make sure that you type correctly. You will see successfully set. That means that the information has been set up in your Live Mode Pro. It doesn't mean that the information are correct, because at that time the Live Mode Pro is not yet connected to the internet. So if you are doing a typo mistake at that stage, you will only find it later, which is why it's important to double check the password. You click to finish. You can see that my user have swapped here to test1. The next step is to set up the speed dial. The objective of the speed dial is to basically call somebody just by pushing this small button here. So when your Live Mode Pro is connected to Wi-Fi and to internet, by just pressing this button once, you will be able to call the contact which have been set up in the speed dial. So in my case, I will set up the speed dial to Ben. Okay, so to set up the speed dial, you need to type test2, for example, and then set speed dial. And you can see that my speed dial have swapped to test2, but in my case, I will just make it Ben. Okay, so speed dial is Ben, which means when I press the button on my Live Mode Pro, it will call Ben. So I got already here my iOS app which is connected as Ben, okay? So it means that when I press the button on my Live Mode Pro in few minutes, it will show your guys my phone ringing and a connection between these two devices. So next step is, so with these two information, account info and call setting, you are basically done with the VoIP setting in your Live Mode Pro. There is a lot of other setting. You can see the firmware version here. You can activate different mode, change some setting, but I will go through those settings in a different video. For now, these two information should let you start. The next step is the networking and the connect section. So the connect section will let you connect your Live Mode Pro to your favorite Wi-Fi network in order to access internet. You can see that in my save network section, I have no Wi-Fi network. It's because I just start from a fresh Live Mode Pro. So I will key in my SSID, I will key in my password, I will select an encryption mode, and then I will be ready to go. One of the issue is, I must say, I'm not very clear what's my SSID network, and it's probably the case of many of us. We cannot actually launch a scan function right now because to launch a scan function will break the connection between the Live Mode Pro of our computer, and that's not convenient for the user. But when you have pressed the button a couple of minutes ago to move your Live Mode Pro to this mode, we have done a pre-scan. So when you press the pre-scan button here, you can see actually the list of Wi-Fi which are around your area. And you can see Asus Pro 5G here, which is our guest network in the office. So I will select this Asus Pro 5G here, and you can see that my encryption windows have actually disappeared. It's because when we are doing a pre-scan, we can also scan the encryption mode, so we don't need to ask your guys this information again. So it's basically the simplest way to go for it, but some people may have some hidden SSID for security reason. So there is still that manual page that you see at the beginning. So now I will type my password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our password is pretty simple here. You can still click show password to make sure there is no typo mistake. And then you are ready to connect to network. So when you press connect to network, your Live Mode Pro here, which is in local mode, will automatically disconnect from that local mode and will go try to connect to that SSID. And once connected to that SSID, we'll swap to the application and try to connect you to Pivothead SIP system with the credential you put inside. So we will go for that in a second. So I'm pressing connect to network here. Your device is now connected to your chosen network. Okay, so we'll basically now look at the glass.
Wi-Fi disconnected.
Wi-Fi disconnected. So basically the Wi-Fi local mode have been disconnected.
Connected to internet.
You can see that the blue LED here, you can see the blue LED start blinking and the device told you connected to internet. So actually it means that the connection from the Live Mode Pro to the Wi-Fi was successful. And right after you can hear the message phone connected. Phone connected means that the credential I put in the VoIP software were correct, and I'm now connected to PivotSIP correctly. So if you remember, we basically key in test one. Whoops. So we basically key in test one when we register the Live Mode Pro. So I will call test one here from my application. Like this will be better. Okay. And you can see that my glass ring. I will press the button to pick up the call, and you can see that the call show up. So it seems the video have a hard time to pick up the first time. Okay, and I need to switch off because we have echo. Okay, so you can see my hand here. So just to show you guys, so it's as simple as this to start with the Live Mode Pro.